Let me tell you the story about the Lincoln Star. It meant luxury for over 100 years. So what's the first thing you could think of when you look at the Lincoln Star? Would it be a Continental, a town car, one of the Mark series, or a Navigator? So let us add one more vehicle to that list. It is the 2025 Lincoln Corsair, and we're going to tell you all about it. I'm Randy Stern, along with George Torline, and this is Victory in Reseda. The 2025 Lincoln Corsair is based off of the same compact SUV platform that is shared with the Ford Escape, Bronco Sport, and Maverick. It offers loads of style from its bold front grille to its subtle horizontal tail lights out back. The roofline is formal, with plenty of glass for good vision throughout. Below the belt line is a sculpted body with Lincoln-specific design details, including the Lincoln Star up front. Our Grand Touring tester adds 20-inch dark finished alloy wheels to this handsome package. That dark finish is found on the grille and several pieces of trim throughout the exterior, all of which comes with the Jet Appearance package. Inside the Corsair is a simpler cockpit design than the ones found on the latest Nautilus and Navigator. The 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster is customizable to your style. The center stack is crowned by a 13.2-inch infotainment screen where you can mirror your smartphone device wirelessly. There are 14 speakers that are a part of the Revel audio system. Underneath the center screen is the ignition button along with the transmission keys, as in piano keys. Every control is easy to use, including the toggle type actuators found on the steering wheel. Adding to the luxury of this Lincoln is a pair of perfect position 24-way front seats adorned in gray leather. The controls are on the doors as well as on the infotainment screen. Rear seat room is fine for 2 adults or 3 children. Cargo space starts with a 27 cubic feet area behind the rear seats. When you fold down the rear seat backs, it expands to 56.2 cubic feet with the hybrid battery underneath the cargo floor. Our Grand Touring tester's plug-in hybrid driveline consists of a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, an electric motor, a continuously variable transmission, and all-wheel drive. In all, this system puts down 266 net combined horsepower. You can recharge the 14.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack through a J1772 receptacle located on the front driver's side fender. When the battery is full, it can return 27 miles of range. You can also put in regular fuel as well. There's so much to tell you about the 2025 Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring, so let's join Randy and George as they hit the road.
So Randy, we're driving the 2025 Lincoln Corsair.
Grand Touring.
What does the Grand Touring give us?
Well, it is Lincoln speak for plug-in hybrid.
Nice.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is that I would like to equate this to the Lincolns of the past. The real story about this vehicle is the fact that we have a compact-sized SUV that competes in a very hotly contested segment. And in its own way, it's distinctly Lincoln. And it delivers Lincoln luxury. So if you feel some of the touch points, it all points to one thing. It's Lincoln-ness.
Yeah, they're all very soft touch points around the cabin. It's very comfortable and luxurious, I think.
I think so too. It's befitting of the Lincoln Star that's right on the steering wheel.
Speaking of comfort, these have the upgraded seats in our test model.
It is the 24-way perfect position seats. How these work is that some of the more basic controls are on the doors, including the thigh extensions. However, in order to get to the rest of the adjustments, you have to go into the infotainment screen.
Oh, okay. So if we hit that and, oh, we got massage.
Yes, we do. And it's got multiple massage ways of doing so. I mean, it's like you pick and choose your comfort if you want. Keep in mind, these are also heated and ventilated. So you're treated very nicely here.
Yeah, we're appreciating the vented seats today.
Oh, absolutely.
So you mentioned that this is a hybrid. Let's talk about the powertrain. How well did you find it to perform for you?
Well, just like every other PHEV, if you got juice in the battery, it will draw from the electric motor first, and then it will flip over to the gas engine when it's completely empty, and the electric motor just gets you off and going. You'll eventually hear the gasoline engine, and that's another distinct noise that tells you that yes, the gas engine is motivating the rest of the car.
Although it's not very loud, it's hard to distinguish many times that the internal combustion engine is even running. And when you got that low speed non-internal combustion motor running, you got the external speaker, like below 25 miles an hour, that alerts pedestrians that, hey, there's a quiet electric car and you should be careful.
It's combining basically everything you need just for safe operation.
Now, they're claiming 27 miles of all electric EV range, and that is matching what we're observing, isn't it?
Yes, and all the time. It's spot on. Every time we recharge, we get the 27-mile range. Now, there's a debate on that. We've been seeing a lot of PHEVs that's been yielding 30 plus, 40, even 50 miles on electric drive only. This one's a 27. It's one of those things where, just like in the electric world, where 300 miles on a range isn't enough, but it's the actual goal of a lot of vehicles to get. So 27 versus, say, 35 or 40, it may not be enough for some people.
Right. It's a lifestyle thing. Does your driving habits permit all EV driving in that 27-mile range for your work commute or whatever it is that you're doing?
Absolutely. It works very well when you charge it overnight and you're commuting.
It takes about 3.5 hours to charge.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to drive somewhere but conserve that charge, there is a mode that has a conservation mode to not use that charge, use the internal combustion engine until you tell it to.
Exactly. And you can also set that up in the infotainment screen as well.
And you'll find that also in the drive modes.
Yep.
So if you go into the drive mode selection, of course, we've got normal, conservative. What fun is that? You've got slippery, which is nice. And then you've got preserve EV. That's what I was just talking about. Save your battery for later.
But you forgot one mode though.
Oh?
Excite.
Oh, that's right. Excite. That's going to give us the internal combustion and electric assists in a more enthusiastic way, right?
Exactly. Think of it as sport mode on other vehicles.
Yeah, they had to rename it to be something a little bit more fancy, right?
Well, it's a Lincoln thing.
But does this feel like a Lincoln?
That's a good question. We did notice that the suspension, there's a little slight floatiness in the rear.
Although very minor. It's only like certain humps in the road that I've observed, at least.
Exactly. Whoa!
That's the Excite mode.
I will say, though, is that this drives very well. It's a very comfortable ride, but it's not exactly Lincoln floaty, which is a good thing because the tolerance for floaty vehicles have gone down over the years. The Navigator is a floaty vehicle. No defense to the Navigator, but it's big and it feels like a real honest-to-God Lincoln. You get into here to a Corsair, yes, it's a lot more taut. Let's just say it's balanced. It's a much more balanced ride. It's got decent handling. It's everything you want to expect in a modern Lincoln.
I'm impressed by how it balances a really nice ride quality in the size factor of the vehicle. To me, this is kind of my perfect sized vehicle for 1 to 2 people, or maybe you got a small family, you need to use the third and fourth seats in the back. But gosh, I wish more vehicles rode like this, to be honest with you.
Especially in vehicles in its class, and that's a hard ask when you think about all the vehicles that are competing against the Lincoln Corsair.
Now, as far as the brakes go, I'm happy with the brakes. They're very linear, even though there's regen going on. You don't really notice that. The steering ratio, I think, is just right on point. It's comfortable. It's not overly sensitive, but it's not numb on center.
It goes back to the word Lincoln. How do you define a Lincoln? A Lincoln is supposed to be this luxury vehicle that is attractive to a certain buyer. You dazzle them with brilliance, such as the technologies that are involved in these.
And speaking of tech, well, sound system, talk about that.
14 speakers. It's a Revel audio system, and we're seeing that a lot on all Lincoln models. It is their premium audio experience, and it is lovely.
Yeah, I think it's nice too. Other tech, you've got this wonderful infotainment screen. It's very large, has a lot of features to it.
Yes, and sometimes you have to dive into the menus to get the features you want, though. That's the flip side of that.
Organization-wise, it could use a little refinement, I think.
I would agree, but there is a magic button to everything. The Lincoln Star appears on the upper left of the screen, so that's where your home keys, that's where you'll be able to access the settings and whatnot. But again, once you start diving deeper into the menus, then you'll be able to eventually find what you're looking for.
And it's got a nice large screen for your instrumentation.
I love it because not only it's informative, but it's cleanly designed. It's in that Lincoln font. Again, pointing back to its Lincoln-ness.
And it's not overly busy. It's giving you the key information that you need. And on the steering wheel, you got these jog sticks that you move up and down and left and right, which is kind of an interesting twist.
And they work very well, which is very important.
Even some paddle shifters.
Yes, you do.
And by the way, the turning radius of this isn't bad at all.
Not bad at all, absolutely. A lot tighter than what you would expect.
For a Lincoln.
Exactly.
Makes this a nice urban vehicle to get around some of the tighter areas.
Even more so if when you take it on the highway, give it some distance, then you'll find the overall comfort of this particular vehicle. And that's where the real test comes into play. And not just in the hybrid system. I mean, even if you have juice in the battery and you're just going on electric drive only, it works quite well when you get down the highway and you're going somewhere up a distance. And you have that gasoline engine as well that will keep you going.
So Randy, in summary, what do you think of this 2025 Lincoln Corsair?
The Corsair is a specific purpose. It is a smaller, more compact, more concentrated vehicle that still offers that Lincoln-ness I've mentioned so far. And the Lincoln-ness is defined by looking back, modernizing it, bring it to the present, but still have tenets that identify its heritage and history in a package that is attainable. If you apply the Lincoln Star on any vehicle, it has a lot to live up to. There's a lot of expectations out of a Lincoln than any vehicle that is out there in the market. If you really want a Lincoln, if you have a family history of Lincoln, this will be fine. This satisfies you. It's not big. It's just right. It still drives like a Lincoln. It still feels like a Lincoln. And that's what it comes down to. So you don't really need a Navigator to get the Lincoln experience. Just come on down here and enjoy it the same way.
In our thermal analysis of heated surfaces in the 2025 Lincoln Corsair Grand Touring, we find the heated front seats do a very good job with heating element coverage inside the seats from the upper seat backs and into the side bolsters, extending down and into the seat bottoms. The rear seats offer good heating element coverage in the seat backs and bottoms of the outward passenger seats. The heated steering wheel provided heating element coverage around its diameter, but missed areas on the face of the wheel between the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock positions. Outside, the side mirrors are heated, and rear window defroster elements provided good heating element coverage, especially for the rear wiper's park position, which helps to keep the wiper blade from freezing to the glass.
There are now 6 trim levels available on the 2025 Lincoln Corsair. Pricing starts from $39,735. Our Grand Touring Tester with the Jet Appearance Package came with a sticker price of $68,820. So if you like what you watched, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell to find out when we put out our next video. Also, don't forget to read our great content at victoryandreseda.net. I'm Randy Stern along with George Torline. Thank you for watching.